Hey, you see this? You see this? Fucking Monday, the 24th, March. Fucking spring. Yeah. Here's your UnRant.
So yeah, it's actually calmed down the last few minutes. I went down and got a coffee and calmed my nerves. Not as much for my needs as I should have. Just gonna do a little quick UnRant for my Monday. Might make these daily, don't know yet. It's like these kind of lets me pour out my thoughts on some things. Quick little things I've read about. DLC for the guitar/band/DJ hero series that's been getting milked to death for fucking years is finally coming to an end soon. I read a bit of the articles and it was pretty much, it's pretty much saying, yeah, the ship's finally sailed, guys, you're not getting anything new. I didn't really read up to see if any of the fan-made shit was still going to be supplied or not, or if they were just shutting down the servers totally. But, yeah, bad news if you're into that stuff. I have, a couple friends that are in those games, but for me, they set the course after 3. I have in the box Guitar Hero 3 with the guitar for PS3 there, the corded controller, PS2 for the corded controller there, and I haven't touched it in years. I was bought it more because it has Slash in it, and Slash is the fucking man. 2, Sims Offline mode launched today. Yeah, well, now you don't have to have always online DLC for a fucking single player game that's not multiplayer online. Common sense has finally been found at EA today. A startling revelation. But yeah, I haven't read up too much, but apparently there's a mod system that's going to be on the way where people can make their own mods. As long as you don't make any money off it, you do whatever you want apparently in the game pretty soon. Assassin's Creed Unity trailer dropped today. I'm going to check that out later to see how that is. It's another series that's going to start treading the line of getting milked fast versus getting good. Titanfall is now pushed to 3rd in the UK behind Infamous and MGS5. So yeah, that's what I read up on. But I noticed a few things in the news over the last few days. People leaving companies. Koji Igarashi at Konami, he's been there for 20 years. He's the guy who created the Metrovania playstyle from Symphony of the Night onwards. He's left now because he's forming his own studio. He said it was a hard choice, but I think for him creatively to blossom and really seeing how some of these companies are stagnating with the development or just prolonging IPs' lives, like I just said about the DLC for Guitar Hero. Jesus, take it out fucking life support for once, boys. Jack Tretton, Sony Computer Entertainment America, is not renewing his current contract, and this was a mutually reached decision between Mr. Tretton and Sony, SCEA. He will be vacating the position officially as of March 31st, and will be filled on April 1st by the current Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of Sony Network Entertainment International, which is a digital entertainment division for digital download of music and movies and television shows, etc., etc. Sean Layden, he's going to be taking over the position, pretty much. So there was that. And Amy Hennig, apparently this is there's a bit of controversy being reported behind this one. The creative director and the writer of the Uncharted series from Naughty Dog, IGN and Sony have confirmed, and Polygon, apparently she's been pushed out of Naughty Dog. She's not there anymore. Naughty Dog's right now on record just as saying that their release for the PS4 won't be affected by this, but she's been pushed out of the company. The person that's pretty much given us Uncharted. I haven't really gotten too much into the series. I played it a bit. It's not bad. But, yeah, she's been pushed out of the company. She's not there anymore. But anyway, so that's what I've been noticing bouncing around today. My thoughts on stuff, well, we'll see when it all comes out in the launch. As for Igarashi-san, well, if you feel creatively stagnated, you gotta move on to fresher pastures, keep yourself going. Otherwise, you just, hang up boots. And 20 years isn't really that long in this industry anymore. You think about the scope of how long some companies have been around. So, there's that. Jack Tretton, well, I guess it was like the Eisner era with Disney for some people. After a while, they just part ways. And Hennig, well, like I said, we'll see how that works out when the wash comes out. Other than that, this UnRant's not going to be very long. I've put out some of the Raspberry Pi stuff now. It's been a couple of the videos have been gone up, and I've noticed the numbers, and a lot of people are really liking this and have been looking at it fervently. So I'm going to try to keep dedicating as many videos as I can to the Raspberry Pi. The next couple will be, if you're following my UnRants, to keep up on news of what's being done. The next two will be how to create scripts in your emulation station menu, so you can select other things other than just emulators or other games that you install. I'm pretty much sure I can show you how to do Open Arena 3 from it, but XBMC, you don't have to use the XBMC distro. There's actually about 4 entries in the terminal that I will show you and have in the description, but you can install XBMC as an app and have it set up as an app in your main menu that scrolls through the systems and that in the RetroPie project that I've been showing you off so far. So there's that. You can even launch it into desktop mode as well from that. And yeah, and so I'll be showing that off the next couple days as well. I've been recording that a bit. As for the comics thing, after looking at it, the first one I want to have looking a bit better, so I'm going to let it drop this Friday because I'm scanning things as well. And cutting in the video is going to have a few different tracks that I'm going to have to be going through in the post-production process. And in the next couple of days, there's going to be a for my banners changing on my channel and on my fan page, so I can have the schedule up on there, release schedule, and yeah, pretty much have that. And, besides that, we'll see what else boils out of this, because text and picture-based instructables will be released of any of my videos at a later date, but for now, the videos will be embedded in their video form on my Instructables channel for anybody who's watching. In every Instructables tutorial now, I show on my channel, so you can reference other tutorials and things like that, and just come over and keep track if you want to. And the UnRant is also encouraged for anyone to keep track of that, and I might start annotating the time so you can jump ahead to certain things, so you can get into certain spots if you only came here for one thing and not want to watch me the whole way through. But yeah, Raspberry Pi is right here, and this thing's really fun. I was thinking the other day, brainstorming about this thing in a camping project, and I wouldn't have to do much actual physical alteration to it at all. I'd only need another little piece of kit and a bit of modding, but the way I'd have things set up, and I could show that in a tutorial as well. Somebody's getting driveway plowed now from all the snow you saw earlier. But yeah, I could pretty much make it a camping buddy, because this thing doesn't even use an amp of power at optimum. It uses 0.7 amps, like 700 milliamps of power, and what it can be used with. Now, this Skunkworks project, this is just something else I just want to do. It's an all-purpose thing, really, but it'd be really good for camping, I gotta say. Little entertainment center, and this one of those Motorola Atrix lap docks. Simple little mod you can make. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a small little box for it to be on, pretty much kind of a little dock. Just dock it in, and it'll. I'm getting rid of this case. This is just a cheap case. I want to get one that's fan friendly that I know of. That'll look pretty nice, and use that. But yeah, I have that for the camping thing, because the dock gives you a 720p, well, 768 technically, but yeah, it gives you a nice screen like that. It's got a hella large battery, because you could put the Atrix on it, and it could keep the Atrix going on its own power with the battery in the laptop for at least 12 hours, and that's being on 3G and doing things like browsing the web and streaming music and movies and things. I believe I've read in forums that Raspberry Pi owners that use them get at least 10-12 hours a day, and that's even if they have like a Wi-Fi dongle attached and they're using it for different things like the desktop mode, or everything really to do with the Pi as a computer or even as a game system, because pretty much how the laptop works is it has 2 micro connectors besides its power input for charging. and the two connectors are a micro USB and a micro HDMI. And all you have to do for the micro HDMI is get a micro HDMI to HDMI adapter and plug your cable from this into that adapter. As for the micro USB, you have to do a small mod to make it work really effectively. What you do is you take a micro USB female cable, you snip off the end, and you separate the power and ground and the data plus minus cables. Data plus minus cables go to a cable that can fit that to plug into this. The power ones go to a micro USB male, and they go to that. One provides power, then the other for the laptop, and the other provides the data connection, so you can use the other two USB ports on the laptop. I'm going to be now shaking this on the laptop, as well as the keyboard and mouse. It has a keyboard and touch mouse built in, so yeah, you can pretty much make it into like a very efficient input that you can take a lot of different places, and because it has a hella huge battery in it as well. 2 USB, it's an HDMI, but it has speakers, and I'm going to probably install a little line in variable resistor, so I have a manual sound adjustment, because apparently sound does work fine. So like using it for a little like travel XBMC center / like retro gaming system, it'd be good for even like the children in the back of the car, so to speak. Have it set up in between, they each get a USB controller, and here you go, kids, play Mario Brothers for a few hours. Perfect. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing something like that. That's why I call this an UnRant. I just go off, but it's not really a rant, because rants are passionate. I'm just like vomiting stuff out of my head. But this thing's really fun. Like I got a tablet, so like for any Android games and stuff like that. Now that Ouya is going to be available as an app, I'm stoked for that. But for anything else now to play with, and just to be like for a little kid, or for me, because I love DIY. A friend of mine was telling me today as we were sitting around having a chat with another friend, they said, it's like, they pointed at me, like, this guy does awesome DIY and stuff like that for electronics, and I'm like, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. And but yeah, I want to get one of those little laptop setups and get like a little solar battery charger, and that'd be perfect, and just pair it with my iPhone. Be out in the middle of nowhere, but with the cell signals, so I can still watch Netflix or something if I want to, or take like a thumb drive with a few movies on it. I'm looking for a camp for a night. I think I might have insomnia. Well, at the time with the battery anyway, though. You probably wouldn't even need anything to charge it with, besides maybe a panel in the day. Yeah, there's that. I'm not going to make these too long, because, well, they take longer to edit and go through and proofread and that, but I like that people actually watch these. I see the views, so I mean, a few people watch these and like go back to them for things and shit, so it's great there's not just me sitting down talking to no one. I've actually got a bit of an audience. But yeah, I might start making these daily. Like I said, office hours are being observed and such. But yeah, more Poly stuff out this week. Probably other stuff as well. The Poly stuff doesn't actually take me too long to do. It's tedious and rendering and things like that. So yeah, but this week you'll see more Raspberry Pi stuff, and I'll probably finally get that Iconia unboxing and review up. Just my thoughts on it. I love my tablet, and I just want to show it off a little bit in the review. It's not really going to be biased, because if I like it, I like it. I'm going to give it a good review. If I don't like it, I'll poop all over it. So yeah, you don't want that middle image, by the way. Yeah, so gonna do that. Cooking I'm gonna do later on this evening. These meals are aimed at being cheap and easy to do. Cheap as in not so much cheap ingredients, just cheap financially. You're able to afford them, but they're still decently nutritious and such, and not much effort. This is why I'm teaching you not just how to cook, how to make something that's going to help you maybe shave a couple bucks off the old budget. So yeah, there's that. So that'll go up stream tomorrow evening. Anybody wants to join, just say so in the comments there, and I'll pencil you in 9 p.m. Eastern. See you then.